Hey guys, it's me, the ENITITY Gamer, back at it for another best client-side mod video, because we only offer the best here at the channel. Anyways, for the Forge mods on the list, you're gonna need to just download Forge, and for the Fabric mods, you're gonna need Fabric as well as Fabric API. I also highly recommend Mod Menu just to make configuring these Fabric mods a whole lot easier. Some mods also run on Quilt now. I'll have that link in the description, but I'm not totally sure what it is specifically. Anyways, let's go and get right into the video. Okay guys, the first mod on the list is called UI Input Undo. It has the Forge and Fabric version, both from 1.18.2 to 1.19, and it does something very simple. Pretty much, if you just type something in a search menu, you can Control Z it and Control Y it to redo and undo, redo. I don't know why that isn't a vanilla feature. It definitely is one that should be, and that is why it is a great mod. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next mod on the list is called Dynamic Crosshair. It is a Fabric 1.18 to 1.19 mod, and it pretty much adds a dynamic crosshair that changes depending on what you look at. If you're not looking at anything, it will nicely disappear, and it will change based on the tool and what the tool is looking at. As you can see, shovel is the same way. Bows, it'll show when it's fully retracted. Fishing rods will do, well, whatever a fishing rod is doing. And it is highly configurable to mod menu. You can easily change the color and much of its behavior. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next mod on the list is called Status Effect Bars. It is a Fabric and Quilt mod with a Fabric version for 1.17 to 1.19 and a Quilt version for 1.18.2 to 1.19. And pretty much it changes how potions look. If I splash myself with a potion, it adds a little timer bar you can see in the top right of the screen. And that's pretty much most of what there is to it. You can configure it again through the config file or mod menu. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next mod on the list is called Auto Effect HUD. It is a Fabric mod for 1.18.2 to 1.19, and pretty much it automatically changes your HUD depending on when it's being used. When you're switching it around, it looks like this. When you're swimming, it goes ahead and adds the bubbles and nothing else, assuming you're not holding anything. Also, it doesn't show your health unless you are, say, taking damage or regenning. And it doesn't show your hunger bar unless you're hungry. Let's give it a moment. There we go, that's hungry enough, I'd say. We're so hungry, we are literally taking damage. And see, now you can see a hunger bar and health bar. Now, you can change the behavior quite a bit in mod menu, and I would personally do it just because, well, the hunger thing, I'd like to know what my hunger is, even when it's not just low. So, let's say changing. I say changing is a good setting for this. Anyways, that's all there is to this mod. It is a great mod. Let's go and move on to the next video. Wait, next mod. Okay guys, next mod on the list is the 1.18.2 to 1.19 mod called Show Me Your Skin. I love this mod. It's very similar to a mod I used to use, but it's better. Pretty much, using the key normally by default K, you can change whether you can see people's inner armor. So you can change the transparency on every single one all the way to 0. And you can make it or re-show it if you are in combat or the other player is in combat, but this is a single player world, so I can't show that. I have tested it in multiplayer though. And then you can show or unshow the player's name tag. I can't show that again because I don't have a name tag. And I can show and unshow the elytra, which I don't have. You also disable or enable enchantment glint if you prefer to see it or prefer not to see it. Although that does not matter to me as much as just being able to turn off the armor, which is the best feature ever. And even better now because it turns on again when you are in combat with another player, so you can see what armor they're using. Anyways, oh, my sword. Let's go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next mod on the list is the 1.18.2 to 1.19 mod called Make Bubbles Pop. Pretty much, it makes bubbles pop when they hit the surface of the water. A very nice addition to Minecraft that makes it a whole lot more immersive. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next mod on the list is the 1.18.2 to 1.19 fabric mod called Container Searcher. And pretty much, if you have a chest with a few items and you want to find it, you can easily find it by hitting numpad 5 key by default, but you probably have to change that if you don't have a numpad. So I can either look at it here, or if I have a lot of items, I can search for it, just like that. And I can click that and it will open the chest for me if I am nearby. I can turn that feature off. I can also change the search radius and see its coordinates, how long ago I opened the chest, and how far it is from the player in meters. And if I am further away from said chest that I would like to find, I can easily still find it by hitting 5 and clicking that. It'll give me a nice little physical arrow and it'll highlight it for a brief period of time. It doesn't open it for me, obviously, because that would be cheating, which is obviously bad. This is a very good mod, a good adaptation of a very common concept in mods and many versions of Minecraft because of how useful a feature like this would be. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, next mod on the list is a 1.19 fabric mod called Froggy Flies, and pretty much it's supposed to be client side. I haven't tested it because I don't know of any 1.19 creative servers, and I don't have time to make one, but it is supposed to be client side, and it basically adds firefly particles around frogs since fireflies got removed from 1.19. So it's for those of you who miss flies and want a connection of them and frogs. Although I do like the illumination mod better in some respects. Especially because these don't glow with shaders, which is why I have them shaders off. So, but it doesn't really matter to you if you don't use shaders, and that is why I am including it. And it is a very nice mod, and it adds a lot of the atmosphere. Although I'm not totally sure why they would follow a frog around in real life, but it doesn't have to make sense. It makes sense in Minecraft's context, I guess. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next mod on the list is called Some Ordinary Tweaks. It is a Fabric 1.17.1 to 1.19 mod, and has a few very useful tweaks, including disabling shield rendering in your offhand unless you are holding a sword, which makes a whole lot of sense, and it just clears up the corner of your screen when you really don't need to use it. And it does the same thing with totems, except it never shows, and you can turn that off if you want. Has another very useful feature, being able to open your inventory when in a portal, just like that. Now I'm opening my inventory even though I am in a portal. There we go. And you can turn many of these features off because, well, some of them, like the portal one, might be considered cheating on some servers. Has a few other features I will list off. It allows you to individually turn off certain toasts, like advancements or recipe unlock, you know. And then you can disable our server resource packs downloads. Skip them, I mean. you can get a coordinate of your death when you die. Again, this is another one that might be considered cheating. So if I just do /kill, it shows me the exact coordinates I died at. So I can just quickly print screen that if I wanted. And then that would be that. I could walk back there and get my stuff, assuming it didn't despawn. And then lastly, it also has Fulbright in the 1.19 version forward. Another one that could be considered cheating, but is undoubtedly very useful. So if I turn off my shaders /time set night, you can turn this off in the config or in mod menu. But you see, we got Fulbright. It is definitely very, very bright and very useful for any combat scenarios and that type of thing. Just way easier to see with Fulbright enabled. Anyways, that's all there is to it. So let's go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next mod on the list is a 1.18.1 to 1.19 fabric mod called Boat HUD. And it pretty much does this. Look how fun this is. But pretty much it shows you your speed in kilometers an hour. It shows your angle, it shows how many your G's, it shows what direction you're going, and your ping for some reason. I'm not even on a server, but it still shows that for some reason. But it doesn't have a huge practical purpose. Maybe to show your viewers what you're doing when you're in a boat. Not totally sure, but it is fun. I do know that, and that's, you know, really all that matters. Lol, that was great. That was great. Boats are just the best, especially chest boats. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next. Wait, no, that's it. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I hope to see you all in the next video or stream. Leave a comment down below if you have any comments or suggestions, and bye.